Welcome back to About Crimes. Steven Avery's life took a dramatic turn in 2005. Once wrongfully imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, Avery found himself accused of another. This time, it was the murder of Teresa Halbach. The case gripped the nation, becoming the subject of the Netflix series Making a Murderer.
Avery has always maintained his innocence. He claims he was framed by law enforcement. His story raises important questions about the justice system and the possibility of wrongful convictions.
The evidence against Avery was largely circumstantial. However, it was enough to convince a jury to find him guilty. Avery was sentenced to life in prison.
Despite the setbacks, Avery has never given up hope. He continues to fight for his freedom, seeking to clear his name and expose what he believes to be a grave miscarriage of justice.
Teresa Halbach, a young photographer, vanished on October 31, 2005. She was last seen on the Avery family property, where she had gone to photograph a van for Auto Trader magazine. Her disappearance sparked a massive search.
Days later, her Toyota RAV4 was found partially hidden on the Avery salvage yard. Human remains, later identified as Halbach's, were discovered in a burn pit on the property.
The discovery of Halbach's remains and her vehicle on Avery's property cast a dark cloud of suspicion over him. The investigation intensified, focusing on Avery and those around him.
The prosecution argued that Avery, seeking to silence Halbach after a previous encounter, had lured her to the property, murdered her and attempted to conceal the crime.
Years after his conviction, Steven Avery's case is far from over. His new lawyer, Kathleen Zellner, known for her work in exonerating the wrongly accused, has uncovered what she believes is significant new evidence.
Zellner points to inconsistencies in the original investigation. She argues that key evidence may have been planted and that alternative suspects were not properly investigated.
One of the most compelling pieces of new evidence is a witness account. A newspaper delivery driver claims to have seen Halbach's vehicle on the Avery property days after the prosecution claimed Avery had moved it.
Zellner has also filed a motion for advanced DNA testing on several pieces of evidence. She hopes this testing will definitively prove Avery's innocence and point to the real perpetrator. Section 4, Brendan Dassey, a separate path to justice. Steven Avery's nephew, Brendan Dassey, was also convicted in the Halbach case.
Dassey, who was 16 at the time, confessed to helping Avery. However, his confession has been widely criticized as coerced.
Dassey, described as intellectually vulnerable, was interrogated without a lawyer or parent present. His confession contains inconsistencies and details that appear to have been fed to him by investigators.
Dassey recanted his confession almost immediately. He has maintained his innocence ever since.
His case has been the subject of numerous appeals, focusing on the questionable confession and the effectiveness of his legal representation. While Avery's case continues to move forward, Dassey's legal options have been exhausted.
His supporters continue to advocate for his release, arguing that his confession was unreliable and that he was wrongfully convicted.
Section 5. The Long Road to Truth and Justice. The Steven Avery case is a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice is often a long and arduous journey.
It highlights the importance of due process, the presumption of innocence, and the right to a fair trial.
Avery's case, thrust into the spotlight by the popularity of Making a Murderer, has ignited fierce debate. Some viewers are convinced of Avery's guilt, while others believe he is a victim of a flawed system.
Regardless of where one stands on Avery's guilt or innocence, his case raises crucial questions about the criminal justice system. It underscores the need for thorough investigations, the careful examination of evidence, and the protection of the rights of all those accused of crimes.
As Avery, Zellner, and their legal team continue to fight for his exoneration, the world watches and waits. The pursuit of truth and justice, even years after a conviction, remains a powerful force.
The Steven Avery case is a testament to the enduring human spirit and the unwavering belief in the possibility of righting wrongs.